A psychological and personality profile. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi, Malaysia's Deputy Prime Minister and long-time political operator, embodies the darker side of power, one built on corruption, deception and self-preservation. His career is a testament to the survival instincts of a man who thrives in the murky depths of political scandal, always finding a way to stay afloat despite the weight of his crimes. His public persona, wrapped in the language of nationalism and loyalty, barely conceals a man driven by greed, opportunism, and an unyielding hunger for control. Zahid's political rise was not one of merit, but of calculated allegiance and backroom dealings. He mastered the art of political survival, shifting loyalties when convenient and aligning himself with power structures that would protect him. His ability to navigate Malaysia's corrupt political landscape speaks to his deep-rooted Machiavellian instincts, where betrayal is merely a tool and deception a necessary skill. His promises of reform and righteousness have always rung hollow, exposed time and again as nothing more than veiled attempts to consolidate power and evade accountability. At the heart of Zahid's character lies an insatiable greed. His tenure has been plagued with corruption allegations, the most infamous being his misappropriation of millions from a charitable foundation meant to aid the underprivileged. This act alone reveals the depths of his moral bankruptcy, stealing from the needy while preaching virtue to the masses. His defense, riddled with contradictions and blatant lies, reflects a man so accustomed to deceit that he struggles to distinguish reality from fabrication. Even when faced with overwhelming evidence, he portrays himself as a victim, manipulating the narrative to paint his prosecution as political persecution rather than justice catching up to him. Zahid's relationship with power is parasitic. He clings to it not to serve, but to shield himself from the consequences of his actions. His ability to manipulate the legal system, delay proceedings, and leverage political influence to escape punishment demonstrates a deep-rooted sense of entitlement. He does not see himself as accountable to the people or the law, but as a figure above it, untouchable and immune. His arrogance is only matched by his hypocrisy, denouncing corruption in public while orchestrating it behind closed doors. His leadership style is rooted in fear and patronage. He rewards loyalty not through merit, but through favours and protection, creating a web of dependency that ensures those around him remain complicit. His threats against critics, his intimidation of opponents, and his attempts to control narratives through propaganda all expose a man who does not believe in democracy, but in dominance. His rhetoric is often laced with racial and religious undertones, weaponizing identity politics to rally support and distract from his own failings. This strategy is not born out of genuine conviction, but cold political calculation, stoking division to maintain relevance. Perhaps the most telling aspect of Zahid's psychology is his pathological dishonesty. Lying is not merely a political strategy for him, it is second nature. His denials of wrongdoing, his ever-changing excuses, and his blatant contradictions reveal a man who has lied for so long that truth has become irrelevant. When exposed, he does not express remorse but doubles down, confident that his influence will protect him. His lack of shame, his absence of guilt, and his sheer audacity to continue his deception in the face of undeniable evidence suggest a personality steeped in narcissism and devoid of integrity. Despite his crimes, Zahid remains a formidable figure, not because of genuine leadership or public support, but because of the corrupt system that enables him. He is a relic of a political culture built on greed and impunity, a symbol of everything that has poisoned Malaysia's governance. However, even the most cunning of political survivors eventually fall. His desperate attempts to cling to power, his increasingly erratic justifications, and the growing public resentment suggest that his time is running out. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi is not a leader. He is a parasite feeding off the very nation he claims to serve. His legacy will not be one of honour or progress, but of scandal, theft, and betrayal. No matter how many lies he spins or how many allies he buys, history will remember him for what he truly is, a man who wielded power not for the people but for himself, and who ultimately will be buried under the weight of his own corruption.